Introducing first, fighting out of the red corner, wearing white and officially weighing in at 130 pounds. His professional record, 46 bouts, 45 victories, including 34 knockouts with only 1 defeat and 2 world championships. Tonight, he challenges for title number 3. Ladies and gentlemen, the 2-time world champion, damas y caballeros, de la zona norte, Tijuana, México, Erik, el terrible Morales. And his opponent across the ring, fighting out of the blue corner, wearing camouflage. His official weight is 130 pounds, and his professional record is an excellent one. In 42 bouts, he has 40 victories, including 28 knockouts and only 2 defeats. From Austin, Texas, presenting the reigning, defending WBC Super Featherweight Champion of the World, Jesus El Matador Chavez.
Seconds over. All right, gentlemen, this is for the WBC Super Featherweight title. You received your instructions in the dressing room. Again, I want to caution you. Any punch below this point, you're going to be called low. Any punch below this point, you're going to be called low. With that, are there any questions? All right, remember, obey my commands, protect yourselves at all times. Touch them up now. Good luck to both of you. Buena suerte.
Chavez is arguably the strongest opponent that Morales has faced. And in the past, he's had a little bit of trouble with fighters who put a lot of pressure on him. Let's see if that makes any difference tonight.
Chavez says, I'm known as a slow starter, and I think opponents try to take advantage of that. My job against Morales is not to start slowly in any round. So he comes out and initiates the action here, and now Morales waits to get into his rhythm.
The good thing about Morales, he's got to learn how to win these fights without getting into a fight. He's got so many skills. Good jab, right hand, combination, footwork. But it always boils down to if you hit him hard, he'll fight you back.
Well,
Chavez has got to make sure that...
He got hit by a little combination about 20 seconds ago, and he immediately went to work.
And Chavez has got to make certain that he not only put the pressure on these guys, that he lands some punches. Get a knockdown so the judges can clearly see you're winning. Not a knockout, but just a knockdown.
Yeah, but you touched on the heart of the matter, really, with Erik Morales, George, and that is that question of, does he box and use his skills, or does he succumb to his desire to go to war? And he's very good at going to war, but he's much better when he boxes.
Oh, yeah, he's got the skill package. Once you hurt him, he's going to get you.
There's a right hand by Morales, and one of the questions about Erik is, having now gotten to the point where he's reasonably comfortable making weight, is he a considerably bigger puncher at 130 than he was at 126? What he did to Gutierrez, knocking him out with one right hand, suggested maybe.
A left hook shook Morales,
and another right has rocked him.
When Morales get hurt, it's time to fight.
Another big right hand.
Chavez has Morales in trouble in the first round with more than a minute still to go. Body shots by Chavez. Morales trying to come back. Fighting fire with fire.
Chavez is not known as a big fighter.
A big puncher.
As a big puncher, but again, he is the strongest guy that Morales has fought so far.
And already in round 1, Erik Morales has mounted a comeback. He got his legs back in a hurry, didn't he, George?
Oh, no. Remember, that's when he fights. It's like, okay, it's time to fight. Hurt me.
Round 1 of Chavez Morales looks as though it could have come from the 12 rounds of the first Morales versus Marco Antonio Barrera fight, as both guys are dishing out punishment.
And it's Chavez who initiated that holding there.
And Chavez made the aggressive statement through the round, but Morales had his moments too. And the crowd loved it. And once again, our interpreter in both corners is Ray Torres.
Just jabbing, come inside jabbing. Yeah. Deep press, deep press. You get the distance. Yeah. Hit him with the overhand right. Left hand and then the right. But keep him at bay, keep him at the distance. Yeah, when he threw that right hand, you know, you need to...
Here is that combination, the right hand followed by a left. That left landed in the neck area, and it stunned Morales. But you could just see his experience at work as he pulled himself together patiently and came back in the last minute of the round.
CompuBox numbers reflecting what I said. Both fighters had their moments. Chavez was 21 out of 68. Morales was 16 out of 64. Both landed some power shots. Round 2 begins. Chavez wants to make an impression on Morales' body and then go upstairs, as he did there.
You know, when you move up in the weights like that, the punches that ordinarily shakes you start hurting you.
But now it goes the other way as Morales pops Chavez with an uppercut and knocks him down. Perfect right-hand uppercut. If a guy's pressuring you, that's a great weapon.
It was a good punch. Chavez was a little off balance, resulting in the knockdown, but it was a legitimate knockdown, and he is not trying to buy time here. He's fighting Morales back. Is that a mistake, George?
Hey, you in a fight now. You picked a fight, now you're gonna have to finish it, and that's what Chavez did.
Absolutely.
He started it, now he's got to finish it.
There wasn't a wrinkle of defense in his game plan, George. He came here to throw leather and to take whatever came.
When the bell ring, you got to give it.
What a perfect 1-2 by Morales, who now has Chavez in big trouble. Sensational job of putting punches together by Erik Morales.
How do you feel? Good. Walk to me, okay.
Second knockdown of the round. No 3 knockdown rule in effect.
He hurt Morales that time. You got to get on him.
It's hard to have the confidence to follow it in now.
You got to understand, once he knocks you down, he's open to be knocked down as well.
Too big a puncher. That was one of the question marks. Would it be that Erik Morales, now so comfortable at 130, with his feet set underneath him, would simply be too devastating a puncher for Chavez? Big right hand by Jesus Chavez. But Morales is taking his shots pretty well now.
You know, but I said, when you move up in weight, these guys ordinarily shake you up, and now they hurt you. And that's what Morales got to be careful now. These are hard shots. You don't wake up after 4 or 5 rounds. That was a skillful left jab, the first one from Morales.
Yep.
He's got the skill. Why doesn't he use it? Big question.
When he steps forward and puts his weight behind that jab, it's terrific.
Doesn't get too much better than that, folks.
Sure doesn't.
Let's get some ice here. Come on, get the ice.
All right, baby, get back under control. That's just 2 rounds.
Take a look at the knockdowns. Morales ducks, comes with the uppercut. Chavez was thought to be vulnerable to the uppercut. If my memory serves me right, Mayweather used that effectively against him.
And Chavez had been knocked down 3 times in his career prior to this fight, so now it's 5.
Combination of punches that did it.
trading shots inside with a guy who turned out to have the bigger shots. 19 of Morales' connections in round 2 were power shots. He landed 4 of 19 jabs in the round as well. Chavez comes out and decides to be the aggressor again, beginning the 3rd round.
Good thing is about Morales, he's kind of like the Lakers. You're always in the game, even if he knocks you down. You can't come back and knock him down.
You see the accuracy with which Erik Morales is able to punch when he properly sets you up.
Oh, but those big power shots by Chavez to the body, that can be a difference. Although he hasn't gone to the body much, but he better start waking up that body now to make sure he takes some of the power away for the latter round.
It's great that he throws to the body, but he has a tendency to wing his body shots, which leaves openings up the middle for Erik Morales.
Morales now is trying to coast a little bit. This is the time to get in your good body punching.
What Chavez is trying to do now that he didn't do in the earlier rounds is go to some defense after he wings his punches, not leave himself wide open.
But again, catches leather in return from Morales as he attacks.
If you see him catch 3 or 4 punches, Morales, you can believe he's coming back after you in a minute, sucking it up.
Great right hand combination by Morales. Uppercut, right cross.
You would never know from Chavez's actions that he had been knocked down twice in the last round.
Sure wouldn't.
He must be in superior shape.
And it has a lot to do with that weight. He's a big man. The first knockdown was like a shock. Wasn't really a lot of power on it, just numb.
No, there wasn't really a lot of power on it, but when the uppercut catches you right on the point of the chin, it
knocks you down.
Anyway.
You can get up.
Well, inside, you don't see that punch.
Sometimes you're hit so hard, you don't even remember you were punched. Those shocking punches.
Round 3, both fighters getting in some solid shots. Closest thing to an even round so far. First round belonged to Chavez. Second round was all Erik Morales. Long way to go.
Seldom you run into a fighter like Morales. Seldom, seldom.
You're back in the fight.
Don't put water up here if he's cut.
Not bad at all.
No,
not
vamos,
bad at
güey.
all.
Close your eye.
It's not bad at all.
Cúbrela nada más.
Sí, sí, sí.
Close your eye.
No puedes afrontar, güey.
You get that jab, your boxing, and you're doing real well.
Cúbrete más de ladito, siéntate.
Take a swallow. Take a swallow.
El jab, pues, quita. De acá arriba, no, baja y vámonos.
Go down and throw a good right hand. Don't forget, when you're in the front, don't stand there exchanging punches. Move them around, moving side to side. Combinations.
You would never guess it from watching Morales, but he considers himself a computer nerd, George.
George is something of a computer nerd himself, so he can identify.
That's why I didn't say anything.
Hey, Harold, how do you have it through 3?
Okay, Chip. 2-1, 29-26, Erik El Terrible Morales. Jim, let me explain. If you knock a guy down once, it's 10-8. If you knock him down twice, it's 10-7. So that second round, Morales builds up gets a big 10-7 round. I gave Chavez the first round, Morales won the third round because he's very sharp and very accurate.
That's what I said about Chavez. He keeps the pressure on sometimes. But if you don't really achieve a knockdown, sometimes the referee only see the guy hitting you back.
And speaking of that, Vic Drakulic has been placing himself on the right side of Jesus Chavez and has not seen the 3 solid left hooks that Chavez landed to the hip of Erik Morales.
And that makes a difference, too, because that's where you lose your stamina. When you get hit with those low blows, especially down by the hip.
I'm surprised Morales didn't say anything to the referee.
Oh, he's a warrior. He's not talking now. He's fighting.
Some fighters tend to lobby the referee when that happens. Morales has never done that.
Personally, that's a mark of Morales' extraordinary confidence. He has the arrogance of a great champion. He doesn't believe anybody's good enough to be in there with him. There's a cut over the right eye of Erik Morales. Yeah, you're absolutely right, Larry. Looks like it's to the outside of the eyelid. George, what do you think?
Oh, it's going to bother him, but the other fella, Chavez, has one also. So they're...
No, he's not bleeding, George. You know,
no, the other guy, Chavez, has one they worked on for a couple of rounds now. So it's like an eye for an eye right now.
Now referee Vic Drakulic wants somebody to take a look. And here comes a ring doctor.
It's fine.
Ring doctor says it's fine. That is Dr. Jeff Davidson, a familiar figure here.
It's that uppercut that Morales keeps winning with. Just can't seem to miss him, Chavez, with an uppercut.
The well-known Dr. Margaret Goodman was removed from this card, and that leaves an absence of any ring doctor who speaks Spanish, which is interesting because none of these fighters habitually speak English, at least not the ones that we're seeing in the 2 main events. Round 4 comes to a close. There have been no knockdowns for the last 2 rounds, and the pace of the fight is beginning to even out. And yes, there's the little nick around the left eye that George was talking about, just outside the left eyelid of Jesus Chavez. Not nearly as much blood there, though, as has been the case here on the right eyelid of Erik Morales.
Yeah. Hey, you got to work it because they can stop this fight. You work real good in this fight, but keep it up. Finish on the top. Keep it distance. Let me look at the eye. Let me work on that eye. Don't forget they can stop this fight because of the cut. Finish him off.
You hear it clearly in Morales' corner. They're telling him to go after Chavez and try to end this fight as fast as possible because of the cut. I don't think the cut is that bad that they could end the fight on it.
That's when they're trying to inspire their fighter now.
Well, Miguel Diaz was the guy who got the best look at the cut, and he was one of those who was saying, go ahead, go after him. Morales, in that last round, far more accurate than Chavez. 21 out of 79 by CompuBox numbers. Chavez only landing 8 punches, but one of those 8 opened that cut.
You want to go out and finish a guy like that, but remember, Chavez is big. He's not accustomed to trying to finish off a big boy like that.
Okay, guys, keep the punches up. Let's go.
Chavez is like a bull. He keeps coming and pulling in. He's got no respect for Morales' power. Although he's knocked him down, he still hasn't really got any respect. This is the time to have some respect because this guy can punch. Shake your head up enough, the judges only see his power and not yours.
Go.
Chavez, the busier fighter in this, the 5th round. Morales' corner suggested maybe he'd start looking for a knockout. There's always a tendency to wait a little bit on the big punch if you're thinking knockout.
Those important body shots by Chavez, very important. He's going into the side now. Morales' body will give out if he constantly throws those body shots, as Chavez is doing.
Investing is Jesus Chavez in the bank of Erik Morales' ribcage. Now Morales starts to fire back. Some of his body shots blocked by Chavez's elbows.
Yeah, he's not able to go to the body. Morales is not able to go to the body, which is the difference here. This fight goes on and on and on. The one who lands more body punches is the one who will get the control.
This is Chavez's best round since the first.
At least it was until this moment. But all in all, a round in which Chavez was by far the more assertive fighter. And George pointed out the importance of the body shots. We'll track it as we go along.
Okay, throw some water in the back, in the head. Deep breaths. It's nothing. The cut is small. It's nothing. Come on, you got your legs, you got everything, you got condition.
When the odds were 4-1 for Morales, Chavez told us that he bet $1,000 on himself taking the odds. The odds closed at about 3-1 for Morales.
Which means there were probably a few others who had that $1,000 idea that Chavez had as well. Erik Morales seemed to be coasting a little bit in the 5th round. Jesus Chavez threw 83 punches. Morales threw a lot of punches as well, though, as they traded throughout the fight. Hard right hand by Morales.
Let me tell you, that hurt. You see Morales, Chavez is trying to coast this round. That's what happens. When you take off for a second, try to coast yourself, then you have these things happen. Sorry to say, but neither fighter can coast.
Already, Miguel Diaz seems to have gotten Erik Morales' right eyelid well under control. Chavez has made contact with the eyelid a couple times here, but there's no flow of blood.
The good thing for Morales, he's been in these wars before. Sometimes when you know your body, it's a good thing.
Well, and the occasion. A perceived advantage for Morales in the fight, George, was his long experience fighting huge events here in Las Vegas, something Jesus Chavez hasn't done before.
Here's an odd thing. Morales is much the longer guy with the longer reach. And he walks into 3 straight jabs without returning anything. Explain that one to me, George.
It's like, hey, I came here to get hit. I came here to get hit until I get you. There's that excellent jab and the uppercut he's not been able to miss with all night. Whenever it turns into,
Chavez just keeps coming.
Whenever it turns into a good boxing match, Morales wins hands down. The jab, the uppercut, the movement.
Chavez is showing better defense now, moving his upper body a little bit more, covering up a little better.
He's doing an excellent job of being aggressive, but unless you get a solid knockdown occasionally, no one can see it. And that eye's come back open on Chavez. He's holding.
Chavez's left eye, just a little bit of a trickle of blood. Morales' right eye holding up very well. March 1, catch a replay of Real Sports with Bryant Gumbel. Among the stories, an entertaining behind-the-scenes look at the 128th Westminster Dog Show, held earlier this month. Don't miss it.
Maybe you beat him with your left hand.
Left hand, your jab. That's keep him at bay with that jab. And then all of a sudden hit him with the right hand. It's going to work. 1, 2.
I'm good.
You're touching him. You're hitting him. Every round you're getting to him.
A mark of what Larry pointed out, the longer fighter, the better boxer, and yet there's Chavez's corner saying, use your jab. Come in and follow your jab. You're doing well with it.
I thought Chavez has out-hustled Morales in the last couple of rounds.
Harold, how do you have it through 6?
Okay, Jim, you know, as we go along, as we go deeper into the fight, those 2 knockdowns play more and more and more important. 58, 54, 4 rounds to 2. Erik El Terrible Morales. Jim, I tell you, I thought Erik Morales won the 6th round. He's landed the sharper punches, just like George says. When he throws that uppercut, he can't miss with it. And Jesus Chavez walks in, gets nailed by either overhand rights or uppercuts. 4-2 Morales based on mostly clean punching.
I have it 3 rounds apiece and a 2-point edge to Morales.
And remember, those 2 knockdowns came in the 2nd round after Chavez had stunned Morales and seemed to rock him back on his heels in the 1st round.
I don't know, I get the feeling a little bit, tell me if this is completely wrong, that Morales now seems just a slightly sluggish, not as crisp as he was earlier.
It took away the idea of boxing. Now he's waiting in, trying to get a knockout like his corner told him. That takes it out of you. And you don't want to move and be crisp. You want a knockout. And the body punches he's absorbed tonight. He's been hit with a lot of body punches.
Well, we expected a long, tough fight from Morales, and that's what it looks like it's going to be. Those words are usually followed by a knockdown.
Two quality fighters just trading shots at close range. And there, when Morales uses his left hand to set up the right, he can be devastating.
And you know, that punch was more powerful than the one he knocked him down with. Those are the ones that hurt you. Shakes you up.
Double jab, left hook, and then the right cross made it perfect.
Right on side of the head.
These are 2 fighters who give everything they have and then give a little more.
Uppercut all night long for Morales. Does it with the left, he does it with the right.
And again, the trickle of blood from Chavez's left eye. A little bit from his nostril as they continue to fight this spirited battle in the MGM Grand. And here the 3 of us are for the very last time together calling a boxing match during this George Foreman incarnation on HBO. And George, stick with us at the end of the night. We've got a very special tape piece in which many, many members of the HBO family, creatively, of course, say goodbye to you. I'm sure you're going to be all misty-eyed.
Yeah. They had me a good
Great
meal last night.
Yeah, I know.
I had some food.
Still misty-eyed from that, huh?
Yeah.
George,
bring more food.
You're making comebacks as a fighter.
It was diet food, though.
You're making comebacks as a fighter. Who knows? You may make a comeback as an announcer as well.
As long as I've got Larry, it may happen.
You could train him, Larry. They continue to work on Jesus Chavez's left eye. Miguel Diaz, as I mentioned, has done a phenomenally effective job so far on Erik Morales' right eye. We go to round 8 of a spirited battle for a 130-pound title belt that currently belongs to the fighter in the camouflage trunks, Jesus Chavez.
Chavez has done so much to get that title. It's not like it just was handed down to him. This guy deserves it. He's going to have to fight with all of his might to keep it.
After all the body shots that Chavez has landed against Morales to this point, is Morales' corner dreaming when they ask him to go for the knockout against this guy?
Yeah, they're dreaming when they tell him to get aggressive and get it. It's going to happen by way of a counterpunch. Stay in position, let him miss a little bit, and then go on top of him with the right hand.
You'd be giving Erik exactly the opposite advice then,
Yeah,
huh?
I tell him to use his jab, circle, don't get too far away from him, stay in the middle of the ring. Because whenever he's in the middle of the ring, Morales has an advantage. When he gets up against the rope, just gets it in the body again.
Chavez hustling. Undaunted by the 2 knockdowns in the second round, he has continued to pour on the pressure throughout the fight. And now the blood begins to trickle again from Morales' right eye. But there's that uppercut. As George said, can't miss.
Can't miss. It just takes so much when you're moving up in weight to constantly throw that shot, though. It takes a lot out of you. That weight makes a difference. When your opponent is like a rock, Chavez is.
Takes a lot of energy to fight the way Chavez is trying to fight this fight.
So far, this round, he's successfully smothering Morales and not letting him get off inside.
Chavez is going left hook crazy, as though he doesn't even have a right hand. Everything is by the right, by the right. What about a right hand? Left hook to the body, left hook on top. Hope he hasn't hurt his right hand. Morales is using both hands.
When you say Chavez is going left hand crazy, I'm told that Mark Ratner, executive director of the Nevada State Athletic Commission, was in Chavez's corner between rounds asking about his right hand. So maybe he's damaged it, although they insisted to Ratner that it was okay.
Well, it's like he's saving the right hand.
Left, and he holds the right still at his chin.
And the guy shows him the right hand shot, and he will not take it.
Deep, slow breathing, Jesus. Breathe in deep, slow.
La cintura, carnal, cortito, ya nada más. Presiónalo, ya se cansó. Está cansado. Es el 9, 9, 10.
Oh, 9th round. This is the 9th.
No te quedes atrás. Por favor, Chuy, no te abras de capa. Eso sí, upper, gancho, capa. Mano izquierda, mijo. Soltito, pues. Estás bien, Jesús. All right, guys, let's go. Suéltale la derecha arriba, Moralita. Tarda mucho en regresar.
CompuBox numbers in round 8. Morales threw 87 punches, Chavez threw 82. They landed just about the same number. Terrific action fight in Las Vegas. Mark Ratner, executive director of Nevada State Athletic Commission, told us between rounds it is Jesus Chavez's right shoulder they're concerned about. Question is, has he damaged the right shoulder? He does have a history of rotator cuff trouble with that shoulder. Let's continue to watch Jesus Chavez. As George pointed out in the last round, he's not throwing the right hand.
I don't understand, however, why Mark Ratner would go into the corner to find out. I mean, if he can fight with that, then he's got to fight.
It's a good idea to keep your eye on these fighters, especially trying to stay out of any scandals. Good commission would be concerned about not seeing right hands. I would be.
Look at this. Jesus Chavez is still in the fight and giving Erik Morales all he can handle, only throwing the left hand.
We have seen fighters win with one hand before. It isn't easy, but if you're going to have one hand, it might as well be the left.
Yep. You can jab, you can hook, and still bob and weave.
He is using the right for his defense.
And you wonder, why hasn't Morales caught on to it?
And if he does, George, if Morales figures out that Chavez can't throw the right,
stay over there to that right, make him throw it, and then catch him, because he's not going to be accurate. Stay out of the range of the left.
Have you ever had to fight with one hand, George?
Oh, all the time. You make sure that one hand does the job, though. But then I was only looking for punching room anyway.
Because he could still knock the guy out with the other hand.
For boxers, it's a lot different. They need both hands.
But as Larry pointed out, for Chavez, the left hand is the good one.
Now that left hand has got to be tied after a while.
Well, he's an amazingly gritty competitor. I mean, pain isn't going to deter Jesus Chavez. There he tried to throw the right hand and just didn't release it.
So he's dropping the left hand now. He's dropping it, trying to rest it a little bit, and that's when the trouble can start for him.
There it is, Morales catching Jesus Chavez with the right hand as Chavez's left dangled at his side, exhausted.
Now, if he catches too much thunder here, his corner better be concerned.
Finally, Morales seems to realize he's got a wounded warrior in front of him. What a fight. What a fight.
Jesus, respira,
keep going. Keep going.
How you feeling, Jesus? Are you okay?
Come on, you gotta protect yourself. I am protecting myself. I know. That's good. He wants to keep going. That's what he said. He's gonna keep fighting. Okay.
Close your eye.
All right. Let us work. Okay. All right. Baby, you got 3 rounds. No matter what.
Get some water. Everything's fine. Everything's fine. You're doing perfect. You're doing winning. Don't carry him. Just move to the side, and then you got it. He doesn't want too much more.
I can't believe Morales' corner is not known about that right hand. They seem to be clueless.
If they've said anything about it, we haven't caught it.
Haven't said a word.
Total in round 9, Chavez threw 88 punches. His high total for the fight, he threw them all with the left hand. Morales threw 95 punches in return. Harold, how do you have it through that?
Okay, Jim, it's incredible a guy could win a round with one hand. 6 rounds to 3. 87-82, Erik El Terrible Morales. I mean, Jesus Chavez, you know, the fight is scored on a point system, and Jesus Chavez, on my part, is 5 points behind with 3 rounds to go. So it really would take a miracle for Jesus Chavez to pull this out. Erik Morales, 6-3.
I have it 5 rounds to 4, but 3 points, which means that Chavez would have to score a knockdown or win all 3 rounds just to get a draw.
George, it's amazing. Chavez can't throw the right hand at all, and he's tattooing Morales with left hands. And our interpreter, Ray Torres, confirms that not once has anybody in Morales' corner said something to him about the fact that Chavez isn't throwing right-hand punches.
It's amazing. That tells you a corner, some corners.
Well, his trainer is his father, Jose Morales. And again, we mentioned Miguel Diaz, but he's handling the cut. Go ahead.
Could be they just don't care. That left hook is powerful that Chavez had. Chavez got a good combination left hook.
When you say they don't care, you're meaning they want Erik to just go fight his fight, right?
That's right. Don't even tell him about a weakness. Some people don't care. Left hand, right hand, three hands.
There it is. Chavez actually tried a right hand.
And there was a little bit of a cheer that went up from the crowd. We have a savvy crowd.
We sure do. They've noticed.
One thing that's helped Chavez is that he got into nice body punching early on.
Which probably took some of the snap out of Morales' punches.
Yeah, he's gotten weak, but Morales can't do much about it because of those body punches.
Meanwhile, you watch Chavez, left hook to the body, rotate, turn up, left hook upstairs. And it's amazing, without balancing the attack at all with the right hand, he's landing. Good quick left hook inside by Morales. Punctuates the round. 10 rounds in the books, 2 to go.
Deep breath, that's it. Take a deep breath. That's it, deep breathing. Okay. Stand in front of him, but move to the side so you can punch and then move on him. It's only 2 more rounds. Let's go. 2 rounds to go. You gotta close fast. You gotta close strong.
Joe Casamayor and Diego Corrales arguably are the top 130-pounders in the world. They're having a rematch of their earlier fight won by Casamayor next week. From what you see, do you think that Morales is at that level?
Oh, yes. No doubt about it. He's at that level and more. You would see better of him if he hadn't absorbed so many body punches earlier. He just didn't think this guy could put it to him like that.
I don't know. I'll be interested to see. Casamayor, to me, has improved tremendously over the course of the past 3 years and is an exceptionally sturdy 130-pound fighter with a lot of craft. Of course, Corrales, if he catches him with one big shot, could possibly beat Casamayor. Or anybody, for that matter.
Seldom you're going to run into a fighter that can give it and take it like Morales. It's just seldom. This guy's once. You're not going to see that.
Certainly is about as crowd-pleasing a fighter as there could possibly be.
He's willing to take it and give it. You're going to really have to put your boxing shoes on if you're going to fight this guy. At any weight.
There's a hard right hand by Morales. Solid, clean right cross shot. One of his better punches in the last 3 rounds. Chavez just doesn't stop. Keeps coming with that left hand.
Sometimes you reach down in your corner, think you should get him. You got power, but don't allow guys to hit you in the body and think you're going to be strong in the last round. Now Morales is using his boxing skill. He's jabs and circles.
Morales pounding away to Chavez's head. Chavez stalking and ripping to the body with the left hooks. Remember, in case you've tuned in mid-fight, The big scoring difference, Erik Morales knocked Jesus Chavez down twice in the second round. It's a 10-7 round on the Harold Letterman scorecard, and so far, the big differentiator in the fight.
Those right hand, one after another by Morales, keeps him in the fight, in the scoring column.
Chopping right hand lands there. Chavez jumping into the left hooks he brings back.
That left hand has got to be pretty tired by Chavez.
He's thrown about one right hand punch in the last 4 rounds.
It's the last round.
Take that right hand. He's getting it. Touch him up in the middle. We're gonna tape that. We're gonna tape this. It's loose a little bit. Got a tape loose over here. I'm gonna retape that. Okay, please. Thank you. All right.
Come on, let me work this.
Respira duro, respira duro.
Deep breath.
Estira las piernas.
Okay, stretch your legs out.
We got it, yeah.
Güey, que no se diga que se quedó. No, échele todo.
Okay, give it all you got. This is the end.
Ya está bien cansado.
He's
Sube
tired.
tus manos y mueve la cintura. Pasos laterales. Vamos.
Está todo, Está todo,
You gotta give it all.
A la distancia, a la distancia.
Yeah, keep your distance.
No está ganando, pero trabaja a la distancia.
The way this fight began, you wouldn't have given a plug nickel for the chance we were going to be watching these two guys enter the 12th. I mean, this began with fireworks in the first, fireworks in the second. Very rough fight.
Whoa, right hand came alive once.
And again.
He saved it for the last round.
Blood streaming from Morales' right eye now. Chavez landed a left hook there.
You may have seen momentarily how Chavez shook his right hand.
Yep.
Last round, he said, I can do it. He's a brave man, that's Chavez.
Hey, Chavez is a famous fighting name, incidentally. And on the undercard tonight, Julio Cesar Chavez Jr. got his 5th consecutive professional win. 18 years old, his daddy was in the corner.
Here's the guy, Morales. How many fights can he still have in him like this?
What do you think, George? Has he unnecessarily shortened his career with his style?
Too many fights, hard fight. I'm going to sit down here and enjoy one of the best fights I've seen in a long time. The last minutes.
We wanted to make a good one for you, George.
This was good.
This is the 47th fight of Erik Morales' career. He's still only 27, but a lot of them have been knocked down, drag out battles like this. Still, the resilient warrior hangs in and shows his courage, his competitiveness, and his toughness as he tries to finish out an apparent win over a determined, courageous, won't take no for an answer, Jesus Chavez.
I would just like for my last fight to be an excellent job by the judges as well.
Would that mean a close unanimous decision for Erik Morales?
I just want a good call.
Crowd loves it in the MGM Grand. Everybody up. A salute to two fighters who have put on a tremendous show. Just a great, great fight. Marked by Jesus Chavez. Courageous effort, fighting the last half of the fight with one hand. And a big rally down the stretch by Erik Morales.
Chavez cannot even raise up both hands, Chavez.
It was a solid win for the former featherweight Morales as he moved up in weight, but it by no means suggests that he's going to be as dominant in the lightweight divisions as he was in the featherweight divisions. If he's going to fight the likes of Corrales and Casamayor and then go up into the lightweights, he will have his work cut out for him.
He's going to need to box more, isn't he, George? I mean, can he risk his body this much going up to 30 and 35?
Boy, he's taking too many beatings. He's given a lot, but he's taking too much. But I still believe he can go in with anyone.
Harold, how do you have it at the end of the finish of the fight?
Okay, Jim. 116, 110, 8 rounds to 4. Erik El Terrible Morales. Jesus Chavez, a beautiful, gallant effort, fought with one hand from the 8th round on. I thought he did enough, certainly, to pull out rounds 8 and 11, at least with that left to the body. But, you know, you're fighting at a terrible disadvantage with only one arm. Erik Morales, on the other hand, very sharp with the uppercut, very sharp with the overhand right. He looks busted up, but he lands the sharpest shots. 116, 110, Morales.
All right, let's take a look at the 3 judges who will be scoring the fight. Bert Clements from Nevada, and he was one of the scorers who had Erik Morales quite correctly beating Paulie Ayala about a year and a half ago. John Keane from England. He was one of the judges who scored Corey Spinks, a clear winner in December 13 in Atlantic City against Ricardo Mayorga, one of the bigger upsets toward the end of the year, and Daniel van de Wiele of Belgium. And you can see that he was a scorer in the Staples Center in Los Angeles. The fight, Korea's Im Jin-chi against Erik Morales. Scored it for Morales. Very tough fight. That scorecard in line with all others. Now let's go to ring announcer Michael Buffer and find out the scores for this one.
Ladies and gentlemen, the MGM Grand of Las Vegas has a glorious tradition of great moments in boxing history, and tonight was no exception. A round of applause for these two 130-pound warriors in this ring here tonight. We go to the scorecards. Bert Clements scores it 118 to 108. David Van de Wiele 117 to 109. John Keane 115 to 112. All for the winner by unanimous decision. Now a 3-time world champion de la Zona Norte, Tijuana, Mexico, Erik El Terrible Morales.
So Morales gets the win on 2 of the scorecards by a slightly wider score than might have been expected. 115-112 by English judge John Keane. That sounds more in keeping with the fight that we saw.
And I'm happy. My last boxing match, an honest decision. I thank you. I'm really thankful and happy.
Very nice. They did it for you, George.
They did. They did.
And here's the last punch stat that George Foreman will observe as a commentator. Chavez landing 204 out of 788. Morales landing 49 punches more, throwing 68 punches more, connecting at a slightly higher percentage. Power shots, George. Your stock in trade. Chavez 119 out of 351. Morales landing 54 more, throwing 207 more power shots, and that's a little surprising when you consider how active Chavez was through the second half of the fight, even with only one arm. Chavez landing at the slightly higher connect percentage. Let's go to Larry Merchant with the new 130-pound titleist, Erik Morales.
All right, thank you very much, Jim. First, Julio Cesar Chavez just put this belt around your waist. You and he are the only Mexican fighters now to have won 3 titles in different divisions. What are your feelings about that?
Recién ahora Julio César Chávez se puso la correa del cinturón ahí. Ustedes son los únicos 2 mexicanos en ganar 3 títulos. ¿Cómo te sientes de eso?
Muy bien, muy contento.
I'm very happy about that.
Antes que nada, pues que darle gracias al apoyo de toda la gente durante toda mi carrera.
But first of all, I want to thank everybody for all the support that they have given me throughout my career.
Y bueno, pues darle gracias a toda la gente que vino a apoyarme esta noche.
And to thank all the people that have come to support me tonight.
Right. Thank you. Just one moment, please, Erik. I just want to ask Jesus a couple of questions here. Jesus, it appeared that you weren't throwing your right hand for the last 3/4 of the fight. What happened?
Well, after catching Morales with that right hand that stunned him, I threw a right hand to the body that pulled my muscles. I re-injured my shoulder. That's why I postponed my last fight. But oh well, I had to gut it out in here, and and try to score an upset with one hand.
So you fought the last 10 rounds essentially with one hand.
Yes, sir.
You've been at this weight class all of your career. What do you think are the chances of Erik Morales being able to be as strong and dominant up here as he was in the featherweights?
Not at all. I think he should stay at super featherweight as long as he can, because if my shoulder gets better, I'm going to ask for a rematch, and believe me, it's going to be a different song.
Thank you very much for an outstanding fight, Jesus. How did you find it, Erik, fighting a strong 130-pound fighter like this for the first time?
¿Cómo lo encontraste tú peleando con un fuerte 130 libras por primera vez?
Bueno, yo creo que me sentí bien, me sentí fuerte. Un poco sorprendido al inicio con unos golpes fuertes a mi cabeza que me sacaron de control un rato, pero bien asimilados, nada más que empecé a tener problemas con mis manos, me las lastimé de muy temprana hora, las dos manos.
It was a tough fight, and I got hurt early. He stunned me in the beginning, and that put me on a lot of out of control, and I hurt my hands.
Did you think that after you knocked him down twice in the second round, that it would be a quicker fight?
¿Tú pensaste que después que lo tumbaste en 2 veces en el segundo round que sería una pelea temprana?
No, porque empecé a sentir, cada impacto empezaba a sentir dolor en mi mano y me daba poca seguridad. Entonces no me podía emplear a fondo por temor a lastimarme y tener que ir a más rounds.
Even though I knocked him down twice in the second round, I didn't think it was going to be a short fight because my hands were hurting. And every time I hit him, it hurt me, so I knew that I couldn't give it all I had.
He hurt his shoulder at the end of the second round and fought one-handed for most of the next 10 rounds. Were you aware of the fact that he was fighting one-handed? Were you ever told about it by your corner?
Él se lastimó el hombro después del segundo round y peleó toda la pelea con ese hombro así lastimado. ¿Sabías tú que estaba y tu esquina te había dicho que el hombro de él estaba lastimado?
No, en absoluto. Tiraba buenos golpes, mantuvo un buen ritmo, lo mantuve a distancia, golpeé bien, no a fondo, pero bueno, fue una buena pelea, emocionó a la gente y eso es lo importante.
No, I didn't know that his shoulder was hurt, but because he kept throwing punches and he kept a good rhythm, and the fight was very emotional.
You've talked about moving up to 135 pounds to win another title. Do you think after this fight that you should stay at 130 for some time before you try that?
¿Tú has pensado en pelear, en subir a 135 libras? Pero ahora, después de esta pelea, ¿qué tú crees? ¿Que te quedas en esta o subes para la 135?
Bueno, es importante quedarme en esa división, tratar de pelear con algunos campeones más, buenos peleadores importantes de las 130 libras. Y con calma asimilar el peso y luego después tratar de subir a 135.
No, it's very important that I stay at junior lightweight, fight with the other titleists, unify the title, or fight with the best fighters out there.
Thank you very much, and again, congratulations.
Gracias, felicidades nuevamente.
Jim?